and welcome to day one of Planksgiving. So kind of an intro on what we're going to do. We are going to have a little bit of a pre-plank before we get going, and I'll give you the reasons why. A few toys, if you happen to have them today. You can have a band. We will be wrapping the band around the hands, so I like a flat one for that. Also one that will go around your knees, and you can use the same one and just tie it. That's fine. If you don't have the toys, it's fine. You don't have to worry about it. Perfectly fine to do all of this without. So if you need a review on the positions, please go back and watch the intro. So the options that you have, the wall, hands, elbows, on the ground, on a chair, on a counter. So please go back and review your options if you need. So today we are going to do something seated first. Then I'm gonna do a little back warm up here. Then we're gonna go to the wall. Then we're gonna go back to on the floor. So again, you figure out where do you need to be for what's going on with you today. Again, that's what my Planksgiving is all about, honoring where you are. So today we're going to start off with a little bit of rotation in the upper back, and I'll give you a reason why. So a lot of times when people plank, they round forward, right? So again, we're working to get against that. But also, as we get older, as from being on the phone, from being on live, we tend to do that rounding forward already. And I really want to get into this little spot somewhere around here. It can go all the way down to like the base of your rib cage. And I want to open that up before we go so that you have a better extensibility in your spine. You have better control through the core, and see if we can improve posture overall while we're doing this. All right, so you're going to start sitting. You're going to lean forward and have your knees on your elbows, and you can let yourself do that gentle round. Take your right hand, you're going to bring it across your chest. You're going to push the breastbone forward. So notice how my back straightened, and then you're going to lift that right shoulder, rotate up. So head can go up, head can go down. What feels better for your neck? And then I want you to reach with that arm. I want you to feel where that goes into your back and then come back down. So push the breastbone forward, rotate the shoulders, reach the arm. Okay, so we're just gonna do a couple more here. So if you really like this one, go ahead and stop, pause, and do a few extra here. But you're really getting into just starting to open up. So we will be starting a lot of our workouts this way because we will use this in a plank later. All right, other hand. So push forward, rotate, and then extend. Which way do you want your head to go? So if you keep your head facing forward, so push forward, rotate, you're going to get more of an opening through the neck. You're going to stretch through the neck. If you rotate to look at your hand, you're going to get a deeper rotation in your spine. And again, there's reasons for doing both. So what feels good for you today? All right, last one here. And then release. Again, if you want to do more, pause the video and go do that. All right, then you're going to come onto your back. Oh, sorry, onto your abs. So nose is hovering, you can put your forehead on the ground, and I want your palms down, and they're going to be right at the base of your spine, near your low back, possibly on those glutes, and then shoulder blades back and in. So you're having to get that upper back muscular to engage. All right, so from here, you can stay down. I'm going to lift up a little bit, also that option. And in that lift up, you're pushing forward from that area that we were just working on. So then you're going to release the arms and then slowly bring those arms all the way forward, letting those arms turn naturally as you go. And at that end range, again, hands back on the glutes and elbows pulling back, shoulder blades pulling back. So abs are engaged. Think lower abdominals are being drawn in here as you do this one. Again, just getting that upper back to engage, so it's going to counter all that we're doing. All right, let's do one more. So no discomfort in your low back. If you have any, put that forehead back down. And now if you need to, go ahead and sit back into shell, into child's pose. Let that low back round. You can also do it from the sitting position. So you're just letting that spine round. All right, so let's talk planks for a minute. And you can keep in that rounded position if you want. So if you think about planks, it is about the ability to maintain the position from the hips to the shoulders. So we're going to call this a rectangle, even though it's probably more of a trapezoid for some of you. So this first one is going to get you some body awareness. So you're going to stand arm widths away from the wall and your hand goes flat on the wall. Have the hand level with both shoulders, so it's going straight across. Your elbow is going to point down and behind. So the elbow may be back behind you a little bit, all ready to start. All right, engage through the abs. So I want you to think about the lower abdominals are drawing in and then get those ribs to drop down. That's you connecting your core. And that should feel like you're creating length in your spine. So starting here, I want you to think about maintaining this rectangle and then bend your elbow. That's all you have to do. How far are you comfortable going in? Gently press away. Okay, so what happened? Did your hips lead? Did your body sway? So keep your square, slowly lean in. So you are shifting the weight on the foot. So right at the moment, it's equal on both feet, and then it goes to that inside. So shoulders should be staying forward the whole time. So inhale, exhale. As long as you're breathing, I really don't care which way you do it, whichever direction is harder, that's when you should really exhale. So work on that stability. Okay, exhale can be also, where do I need more stability? So if you find yourself moving those hips and losing that awareness of that rectangle, then maybe exhale on the way in. Okay, so we have lots of options here. All right, and this is going to be similar to the hand option on the wall if you're choosing that, right? One more here. How's your shoulder feeling? Okay, if you need more of a challenge, you're welcome to walk away. But today, day one, we're working on that rectangle. All right, set up the other side. So hand width away, spread the fingers, shoulder blades back, notice your rectangle, engage through the lower abdominal area, that's your core, and then drop those ribs down. And then slowly bend the elbow, press away. Again, feel the weight shift to that inside leg, press away. So keep the shoulder blade down and in. Head stays long, so let the head go with the whole body. So you're a full body lean from that ankle and you're just bending. So your rib to hip connection on either side should be staying equal. And again, notice you've got the nice strong stability through this plank, right? Again, what is a plank? It's about maintaining this rectangle. Okay, so we are challenging that in different ways. All right, so check in, see how you feel. Did one arm feel easier than the other? It's entirely possible. We're stronger on one side. All right, coming into, we're going to start with all fours. I'm going to have a pad for my knees because that's where my knees are. If you have a circular band, you can put it around the knees. And that will give you a little bit more emphasis into the deep hips. You only have one band, choose that one. You can also do a band at the hands. Okay, so again, I'm on a platform, you can be on the ground. So if you're doing it at the hands, wrap once. Hands should be a little bit wider than shoulders and going down. Right, and then tighten it just a little bit on one side. So now you actually have a little bit of tension through the band. What that does is it puts the work out here as opposed to in the chest. Okay. So again, optional. I'm probably not going to do that while I try to talk. All right, so hands are spread the whole hand, abs are in, and I want you to think long spine. All right, so now I want you to walk your knees a little bit wider than the hips. So if you have the band, you feel the tightness, the tension. So you're engaging the core, you're pushing outward a little bit with the knees, regardless of whether you have the band or not. You're pushing outward just a little bit with the hands, regardless of whether you have the band or not. Now I want you to rotate your elbow so it points back. And again, if this is hard on your wrist, option down to elbows. So elbows still point back, fingertips would point forward in both positions. Again, what option works for you here? So we're engaging the upper back and the glutes as we're in this plank position. And again, you can have the hands walked out. That's your next option. You can go to toes. What works for you? What's your option? All right, so elbows are pointing back. Where is your head? So you're engaged to the core. Take a break anytime you need. So you're pushing out with those hips. Now I want you to slowly engage your lats. It's like you're gonna pull yourself forward. You may actually pull yourself forward just a little bit and hold. So what that engagement does is stay there. That engages your lats right here, which helps stabilize your low back. And notice as you're doing that pull, what happens? The chest goes forward automatically. The shoulder blades draw in a little bit, right? So we're getting into that. All right, now I want you to slowly push back with your hands. So if I exaggerated it, it would be pushing me backwards. So now I'm getting more into the biceps, more into the front shoulders. I have options. Again, if you're down here, it's the same thing. You can be a little butt fudged here. Today, not really cueing the bigger options where you're on your feet as much, in which case we'll have the hips down a little bit, but you're pushing. All right, now again, go back to pushing out with the hands. Push out, push out. What do you feel? You should feel it along here. Again, that doesn't matter if you have bands or not. All right, so hold that. So maybe your wrists are saying drop down, feel free to. All right, so keep that pressure out. And now I want you to pick up your right leg and I want you to slide that leg straight and then pull it in. So the trick here is that the hips need to stay level. So it's kind of like your toes are tucked under and you're just straightening that knee. So press through that heel and pull back down. Press through your heel, pull back down. What's going on with the upper body? Are you still pressing out? Okay, now pull back with the elbows, pull back with the hands. Get your lats to engage again. We're multitasking. Okay, so keep that going. Keep alternating the legs. So as you're alternating the legs, okay, your pelvis is staying still. All right, so at that little lift of the knee, you might have a little wiggle. That's fine, but keep it the pelvis level. Again, work on this triangle. This is what we're staying with, right? This is what we're working with. All right, so just give me one more set. We probably started with the right, finish with the left, and then go ahead and release back into child's pose. So round your low back, sit back, hips over the heels. You can sit like me on a chair and get that low back to round, open up, and then sit up, check in for a moment. How do you feel? So hopefully you're feeling the upper back got engaged, a little bit on the sides, a little bit on the front, but it's balanced all the way around, okay? You should feel like hopefully you're a little taller and longer. You should feel like you got your hips to engage. All right, so feel free to leave me some feedback. I would really appreciate that on whatever media you're watching it on, and I will see you guys for number 2 shortly.